Welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. I am back over by the plastic. As you can see, I have changed things a little since last time, but I am not actually completely happy with this arrangement either, aside from the fact that things are a little bit imbalanced or unbalanced at the moment. This double red unload is not actually fast enough. Let me show you. If you have Okay, let's have a look at this. There's plenty of petroleum gas coming in, that's not a problem. If we have a look in here, you'll see the coal runs out, it comes to a stop. This is while it's being supplied coal constantly. If we go down the other end, you will see that there is in fact, here, as soon as this is empty, the coal train has to go away. There's a gap. It'll be a protracted period of time when nothing is being supplied here. Well, welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. So, we want to... I was going to do this offline, but I haven't had that much time to play recently. We need to build the trains for here to boost up the copper flows into this part, so that our building of, I can't see because I've got this train on me at the moment, but our building of the modules can be accelerated, and then we want to get on with building up our supply of plastic. Sorry, not plastic, low density structures. Hopefully that all fits. Might not have fallen into place exactly how I need it if that one is not actually active in terms of placing in here. We had that issue before, so I'm going to have to check whether that actually works, but there's the first 20. Now let's see if we can fit 16 locomotives between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're getting this strange issue where they like to flick around. I'm still not convinced whether this is actually a good idea doing it like this, but it does reduce the total number of trains that we're running. It's just it looks like we have our 16, but we're a little bit shy of here, so that would tend to suggest we need to get rid of, let's just see how many links we need to get rid of. 1. That's very awkward. It's sort of 1.5. Alright. So, probably should have blueprinted that, never mind. See if that works any better. That doesn't seem to have made a lot of difference. We are still at least one train too short. So that will take at least one more slot here. And you know what, this time I will actually do a quick blueprint just to make that a little bit easier. some of those other ones. And we'll use this. We're still too short. Maybe not actually. We could probably make that work. Alright. We're definitely noticing the difference in run speed though, so let's go back to the whoops, not that, this stuff. Yeah. There we go, and now we need to get power. We need to get some bots in here, probably in the order of about 2,000. See if all of these boxes are able to deliver into their carriages. If not, we'll have to move them around a little bit. So, where is the... oh, and we're missing some roboports as well. Let's order up. How many roboports are we missing? It looks like, well, if we get about 30, that should cover us. 30 roboports, let's say 2,000 logistic robots. 2,000? Seems like a lot. How many do we have operating here? 550, which is not quite enough. Alright, well let's not get 2,000 then. Let's get more like, say, 600. And we want power as well. Where do we have power? Let's just head down. It looks like we have power over here. That'll give us power. How's our grid doing overall? 139,000 now. That's incredible. It looks like we're using about 4 gigawatts, so we're doing fine. We must have about 8 gigawatts in total, I guess. Let's get that stuff. So if we get the LDS happening fairly soon, which will mean bringing another copper on, and then directing some of the plastic down, because we need to burn off the plastic anyway, we'll be able to build the faster jet, which will certainly help. Actually, are we? Whoops. Right, I was wondering about that. Let's just head up. LDS being low density structures, of course, needed in the jet, as well as obviously, of course, the rockets. So if we go right up to here where most of the stuff gets built, we might actually have to, oh no, here they come with all of those. Not throwing them away, that's good. Am I outside? No, I'm just outside the zone. Here we go. Oh yeah, we've got tons. It's got 50 down here and 550 up there. That's what we were after. Back we go. I'll take this travel time to have a sip of water. Now, the other thing we might have to relook at is actually the plastic. I know the solution to our needing to use red inserters is to use stack inserters and a two square where are we down? A 2 square box, which is basically a car or a tank, can behave like that. So that is probably what we'll have to ultimately end up doing. I was sort of trying to avoid that, but I guess it might not be possible. Alright, come down here. Let's put that in. Let's just do a quick flyby, which will put all the missing robo ports in place. Now, if we give you some bots... Oh, we don't have any requests so far. Alright. Let us swap back to speed. And we'll make a minimal... oh, it says iron, so it should be 700. What we actually want in here is... copper to the tune of say 10, so if the box won't fit any, we don't have a huge excess to pick up into our inventory, and we should be able to see fairly quickly. Whoops, that wasn't the direction I wanted to go. We should be able to see fairly quickly as to which ones are working and which ones are not. Whoops. So all of those are working, this one here is not. And that will be all the way up. Alright, so we need to move that. Oops. Slightly unfortunate, but at least I've only put 10 copper in there. 10 copper ore. What about down this side? That one's working. It looks like that one there is not. It's the same basic deal. I should work on just balancing these in the middle rather than making this pattern, but this pattern gives you some space that you can potentially use to fit, you know, miners and drills in this area or things of that ilk. Now, auto trash, good. Oops. I kind of need squeak through at this point. There we go. At least this sort of thing is basically set up once, and at that point just forget. Or more or less. Oops. Right, now get back to our fast guy. Let's put that more demanding requirement in here. Instead of 10, we actually want 700, because that will be enough between, whoops, between all of these between 3 to completely fill one of these carriages, which is kind of what we are after. We are missing power up here as well. Okay, that should be all. How come I have 200 of those guys in here? Weird. Oh, not weird, they just never deployed. There we go. So they only fit 350 in until there was a demand, and I tried to put them all on the same one, blah-de-blah. Okay, so that's good. That train is now semi-active. Now what we need is some fuel. We basically need about 480, which I'm not going to be able to quite fit, although I do have plenty of space in here. So let's just run down to where we get the refueling from, get an initial load of rocket fuel. Down here somewhere. Always so many things that are pending to build in this crazy design. Right, we must be getting close to the first. There we go. Okay. Let's assume that's enough. Fill this train up. Yeah, we're missing a whole heap of prod modules from here as well. And from this one as well. So I might check on our prod module supplies, see if that is ready to fill the train up, but in any event, can I come here? It's probably easier to do it outside. Oops. Very good, down to 6. How much do you have? You have, oh, you got all that, so you got tons. Okay, so now, where are we trying to go? copper 2 to copper 2 smelt. I think that's the path. B copper 2 until inventory full, and then B copper 2 smelt until inventory empty. 80k should be full. Oh, it's it's still on manual. There we go. And we're off. Now there's no bots, of course, at the next part, so we'll have to get some more. Let's just see what we are using in this copper. It's basically 700. What have we got over here? 700. So if I get sort of 1500, maybe 1500 bots for the smelting, that should satisfy that part of things. And then we need a couple more trains. Slowly we're coming together. Let's have some more water. Bots. Alright. We don't actually need 30 of those. Oops. I want 1500. If we get 1500 of those, are we going to have room for trains? Perhaps. 16 and 40. So that's 16, that looks like our 40. 1, 2, that's 1,000, so we're just waiting on a few bots to be built from the looks of things, or the last few deliveries. Might just be the last few deliveries. No, they're probably just building a little bit slow at this point. Let's just check. Yeah, we are right at our limits of bots, because 1500 should get us to here. But they're not taking very long to build. As long as there's a supply of the robot, what do they call a flying robot frame. And this is the last collection of 50, so we should be there very soon. Give this lot something to do. There we go, all done. Let them restore their build. Another very slow journey back. All part of the fun. Maybe next time what we'll do is we'll set up a construction line for building tanks or cars. Probably tanks. They have more storage capacity. It will probably make more sense to do tanks. so that we can complete the oil in perhaps the way that I really want to at this point. So yeah, 750 bots. So that's basically 350. $750 and down to this one, same deal, 350, some down this end, 750, right. And build our train. Now these ones should work without any nursemaiding. Doesn't look quite right. Never mind. Have to do for now. It actually doesn't look. Yeah, there's something that's gone horribly wrong here. Okay. Much better. Got the right number left over, and hopefully all of those will work as required. Okay, now down to the next stop. Another 820. Now, these things are probably all requesting iron. Okay, we need to change that to copper, clearly. As soon as we do, it'll kick off. I might, just before I do that, I might go and see if I can get productivity modules from all the sources that we have, so that we get the best bang for our buck. Not sure if the module farms had any more deliveries of processing modules yet. That's not the module farm. Module farm is down here. Something that is building. That's not a lot of processing modules, but it is some. So yes, it must have just recently had a delivery. 68, that's a good start. Well, let's head back to main base, grab whatever we've got there as well. We are only producing sort of one productivity module per 5 or 6 speed modules, so there is a little bit of an imbalance there. And of course we'll need to do another fuel grab to power up the locomotives, or at least get them, power them up altogether. Need to check on the others as well to see that they're alright. What are we going for? We're going for modules, aren't we? Oh, and I ran out of, I was going to extend this guy down here somewhere. I'll have to come back and fix that up as well. Possibly between episodes. My perennial line that doesn't seem to be coming. Whoops, where are we? Oh. Overshot. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. We'll have a quick look at how the solar field is going fairly soon, because obviously we're going to need to put the brakes on that one as well. We don't want any of those things. We just want... How many do you have? 106. It's not bad. Started all these guys up, so I'll get some more soon. And once again, back over to our new copper. There is a lot of setup in this. The faster jet that doesn't have all this, it doesn't have as much cargo capacity, but it certainly gets you to and from things a hell of a lot faster. That will help speed up this whole process. Certainly part of what I'd be waiting for. Now what I might do is come to about here, jump out, put the bot version in, and hopefully they'll start deploying the productivity modules. Problem is we will probably end up being slightly imbalanced in terms of productivity in the top part versus the bottom part, because we've still got 100. But I think all of this is missing its productivity modules, and that will create an uneven burn, unfortunately. An uneven burn between the top and the bottom on the supply of copper ore. And there you have it, we are done. Certainly something that's going to need attention fairly quickly. Alright, let us swap back. And go and grab fuel. We basically need our 480 rocket fuel again. Fuel up these two new copper plate trains, and that will probably do us for our episode. Right. Grab all of that. That. There. That's more than I need, but that should be fine. This might end up calling the rocket fuel train down soon. Forget exactly what I set it to, but it is controlled by those stations coming on or not. here. Okay. Yeah, we've got the legs ones good. I'll fuel the top one and then I'll set up the demand. Ooh. As in the requests and the requester chests to pick up the copper ore. There's the plane. Probably run faster than the train can come down here. But while we're up here, let's, so what are these demanding? They're demanding 1.4 iron plate. Let's start off with fixing these up. Instead of iron plate, we need you to be going copper plate, 1400. I guess we might as well just run straight down here as well. Dump the rocket fuel now. What do we have as the... It's not the one. The request is just 50. Alright. I could have just looked at that, couldn't I? 50. Let's do one row at a time. Now I could have set this all up connected to a combinator, but if you do that you are spending UPS on a combinator that serves no purpose other than saving you this sort of manual setup. So it's okay on a small base that's not challenging UPS. In fact, it's great on a small base that's not challenging UPS. But on a base of this size, when you are challenging UPS, you do that over and over again on every single one. You're creating a completely unnecessary demand in the circuit network system that you can avoid just by hard fixing these values in admittedly a slightly boring manual way, but it saves us overall in the long run. So we basically need to do that. There we go. That lot should be fine at this point. Now the ones up here. Same deal. And I could probably just run and just hold down the mouse button while I'm doing this, because it won't be writing anything to the supply chests, but just in case. Okay. go. So guys, I think we should probably wrap it up here. We've done some good work. We have they haven't been, I don't think they have a return set up yet. No. So that's going to have to be a crossover just here, but that's not a big deal. I might just do that offline and set up their path and try and get some more. How many more do we have? 8. That's not very many more. We must have run out. Yeah, we have the processing units, but hopefully that whole process will be sped up a little bit with more frequent deliveries of copper up here. Oh, and I did promise we'd have a look at the solar farm. There it is there. How many rows have we done at this point? 17.8. So that's pretty good. We have 140,000. 104, every 16 is basically a gigawatt. So, I mean, 150,000 then would be about 9 gigawatts. So we're certainly 8 plus, and we're using half though, 4.8. So yeah, it's good, but we're probably expanding demand faster than we are expanding production. Worth bearing in mind. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.